Okay. So now I want to show you web application, how to build using Java. Okay, web application we will see. Web application in the sense, a application which is running on a server. What is web application means? A application which is running on server. Okay, it will run on a server, and we can able to access from browser. Okay, application server lo run avutundi, danni manam browser nunchi access cheyochu. Server can be anywhere and your browser location can be anywhere. Just an internet connection should be required to access it. Okay, so a application should run on a server. That application we will access through browsers. So those applications we called as web applications. Okay, whatever the Facebook or Twitter, whatever you are using to web, right? Facebook, Twitter, and e-commerce applications, right? Flipkart or Amazon, right? Book My Show, okay, and Red Bus. There are many websites, IRCTC website, right? All these are web applications. We call these applications which are running on a server, we call from our browsers. We go to our browser, we simply access them www.facebook.com. When we enter in our browser, a request will go. When you hit this in your browser, right, under URL section we pass URL. When you hit this URL, the request will go to server. The request will go to Facebook server. The request will go to Facebook, right? Facebook server. In that Facebook server, they will have Facebook code. Basically, they will have code there. Your call will go there. Your request will go there when you hit the URL, right? Code will take action based on your request. So the URL, first time URL, we are hitting www.facebook.com. Then this code will analyze whether he is logged in user or not. If not login user, it will forward sign up page or login page. It will ask to login or sign up. So it will ask here username, password, right? So we used to enter the data and we used to log in first. So for few applications, it will mandatorily will ask for the login. If you visit Amazon without logging also, it will allow you to buy products. Well, before www.amazon.com, if you go, then you click on Amazon.com. Similar way, the request will go to Amazon servers. The request will go to your Amazon server, right? Whatever code they have implemented in Amazon server, that code will get this first request. So then it will give the search page directly. It will give search page. It will ask you enter whatever the products you want, the product name, right? Product name or whatever. It will ask you enter. So if we need for a mobile, we will enter mobile. Or if you need for some toys, we'll enter the toy name or phone name. When we enter and search for it, it will display all the available products. So this is how the web applications will work. We request from the browser and browsers will give the response based on the request. Right? Based on the request, they will give the response. Few applications will ask for login, which are mandatory for them, and few applications will give without logging also, they will give access to their pages, right? So such web applications, if you want to build, right, if you want to build such web applications, you need to create these browser pages and the code which need to responsible for this browser. So all these are running on browser, right? All these are running on browser and this code running on server. We should learn how to create these browser pages and how to handle this request from server side also. These two things we should run. So basically these browser pages we will implement in HTML. Okay, HTML is a hypertext markup language, a simple language for creating web pages. Okay, using HTML you can create these web pages, and once after creation of this web page, okay, so when you enter submit button or something from here, if you want to execute some code based on your request, let's say you created a form here in HTML, you created a form in HTML for doing registration, a simple book registration, something like that, right? You registered book ID, book name, right? Book cost. So these parameters you want to save in a database. You want to save in a database as you are implementing online library system or online bookstore. You implemented this page, and when you click on this submit, okay, submit button also we create. When you click on this submit, similarly, if you want to implement servers like Amazon, Facebook servers, you need to do one thing first. You need to download Tomcat. Okay, download Tomcat and use it. Okay, download Tomcat and use it. We can download Tomcat. Tomcat is a server. So in that server, you can write some code. Here we will write some code. Okay, Java code. We call it as servlet code. We will write servlet code. Servlet code is able to accessible from browser. So we will implement some servlet code here. A Java code with servlet help. A Java code we will write with servlet help. Your Java code only will be here. So this Java code could be accessible from this browser. So when you hit request, the call will go to your servlet. Okay, and your servlet could able to read these values, your book ID, book name, or cost. You can able to read them here. Once after reading, you can write the jdbc, some kind of jdbc logic here to store in database. So for databases also we need to download some database softwares that already we have an Oracle software. So you can connect with your Oracle database software to save your data. To save your data, you can connect with Oracle database. We downloaded and installed, right? Oracle database, Oracle 10G we have, or you can download MySQL any version. Okay. So while writing this JDBC code, we will give username password of this database and it will connect. From here you can save your data. Okay, already database system we have, and we know how to write JDBC logic also. We know how to write JDBC logic also. Now we should understand how to configure Tomcat, how to download and configure Tomcat, and how to implement a servlet code to read data which is coming from presentation page. And we should know how to create this HTML page also. Okay, we'll go one by one. Okay, first I'll show you how to create this HTML page. Then I'll show you how to configure servlet code and how to run that servlet code on Tomcat. And already we know how to implement JDBC to connect with database tables, and we know how to create tables in database also. Okay, so we'll do one quick implementation here. Okay, go to file, new project, dynamic web project. We need to click on dynamic web project. Okay, once again I'll show you. Go to file, new project, dynamic web project. Here it will ask you for the runtime environment. Okay, what I did for that is I have downloaded Tomcat software and I have the Tomcat here in my local host. Okay, Tomcat I have in my local host. This is my Tomcat location. I have downloaded Tomcat into my downloads. I'll show you. So this is my Tomcat that I have downloaded. So download this Tomcat version, Apache Tomcat 9.6.9.0.63. You go to Google and download it directly. Okay, Tomcat 9 download. So click here and get any download here. So you can download zip file. Okay, zip file, Windows zip file. Okay, so you click on it, it will download Tomcat version. Okay, so Windows zip. When you click on it, right, it will download comfortably. You click on this link. I'll copy and share it with you. So if you click on this link, it will download. Once downloading with that, right? Once downloading with that, so this is the download. Once you get it, extract it. Extract it. Okay, you will get a zip file. Extract that zip file. Yeah. So we got it, right? You can extract it. Extract all. Okay, extract it. First download, as I shared the link, right? Just click on that link and download your Tomcat software. So you need to extract whatever the download you do, right? Extract that zip file. Okay. So once done with it, yeah, see. So this is the Tomcat that I extracted. If you can open, you can see the Tomcat software, which is coming with bin configuration library, many things. So once after building our web application, right, web application will be loaded here. Into web apps, we will load our web application so that your Tomcat is ready to behave like a server. In our server, we can deploy our code here. So similarly, I have downloaded Tomcat software and I configured here. Okay. So while creation of your project, it will ask for runtime. Click on runtime and select Tomcat 9 version and browse your server. Browse your server location and finish it. Okay, that's it. Now create your project. Okay, hello world. So my project is hello world web project. Okay, I'll choose earlier versions. So I have created hello world web project. See this directory structure. You will get source package. Here you will write servlet code, and here we configure that servlet, and here we will put our web pages. Okay. So anyway, we understand how to create this project. Now in this project, I'll create a web page. Here you need to create on web content, right click, go to new, select a HTML file and name something index.html. Create your HTML file. Okay. And if you want to put any title for your HTML page, put here hello world. This is my HTML page, hello world. Okay. And write your logic here, whatever logic you want to apply. So h1 hello world. It's a simple web page I created, right? So if you want to run this application, run it. Run on server, which is Tomcat. I have a simple web page. I don't have any code. I have a simple web page. Hello world. Okay. So here is your application. Hello world is running. In your local host, it is running. The port number is 808080. I'm running. So on 80 port number, it is running. Hello world. Okay. So simple. Create a dynamic web project. Create a HTML page and put your code here. It's a simple form. Now I want to implement a form here. Okay, I want to implement a form here. Form for doing kind of registrations and submitting data from presentation layer. Form here, and I'll use /registered book. Registered book is my action, and I'll put here a method called get. Okay, we'll discuss about this get later. Now create a form here. Okay, so I'll create a form. A simple web page I'll create. This pre and pre is for setting right alignment. Okay, don't worry about it. Create your form. Book name. Okay, book name. Book price. Book order. book description, something like this I want to put while doing registration. For book name, I need input type text box, and the name is equal to book name. Book name and book price and book author and description. Description I want to put it in a text area box. Put text area, number of rows, 5 rows, number of columns, 15 columns, and the name book description. Okay, now I have a simple page. How to run this page? Run on server, finish. So this is your form. This is your form. See, here you have book name, book price, book author, and description. You need to enter book name, book price, book author, and description, and we need a submit button to submit this to this action. This action is my server action. Okay, so server address, which means server address, the request will go to server, and here put submit button. Input type equal to submit value, create book. I'll create a book. Okay, create a book. Now see your web page, how it look like. See, now you have a page, book name, book price, author, address, book description, create book. When you click on create book, it is generating an action. Okay, register book, and something it is passing through this URL book name. If it is empty, no values. Okay, if you fill this data, book name, core Java, price 100 rupees, author Naveen, book description, core Java book. I submitted it. Now it is trying to hit a server with this URL, but I don't have server. I have server, but I don't have this URL action. In this URL, I don't have any code. Okay. Now you need to implement the code in this URL. On registered book action, you need to implement your Java code. So here I'll do that. Okay. Write a class. Which class? Servlet class. Okay. In servlet class, we'll create package form.rview.web. Class name book register servlet or book servlet. Book servlet. Okay, fine. Next. URL mapping. Fine. Finish. So when I do that, right, my class will be implemented from one default servlet class, and do get do post methods will be override here. So do get method and do post method. Do get and do post methods are simple methods to read request. So when the request is from get method, the request will come here. When it's from post, you will get here. So my request is get request. So the method will be called here. So when you submit this button, right, when you click on this submit button, the action is mapping to my book servlet. This book servlet will execute on that action. On that action, which method it will call get method. So here I have two methods. One is do get and one is do post. So which method it will execute? Do get will execute. So this method is not required. Okay. Now read your data here. So when I submit this data, right, using this book name, book price, I can able to read data here. How to read? Using this request object, you need to read request dot get parameter of book name. So when you submit, right, that data will come here. String name, which name? Book name. Read book name, book price, book author, okay, and book description. Okay, so here I am putting some output. Okay, here I am putting some output. Hello, book registered successfully. This response will go to your browser. Now try to print this data here, whatever we requested, right? Will that data hit to server or not? We can see book name, book price, book author, and book description. Okay, how this is mapped? My action is reg.book. Okay, this is my action. When I click on this submit button, it will generate this action. This action is mapping to this class. Where that mapping is done, there is a web.xml file. In this web.xml file, your URL. Okay, the URL name is what? Reg. This reg.book you need to configure here. So this is the mapping address that we need to configure in web.xml. So this is like your postcard. Okay, you return postcard to your home. This is like your home address. Okay, book servlet is like your home, and this is like your letter. Okay, this is your letter, and in your letter you are posting something to this address, and this address belongs to this home. Okay, and where you need to configure or register this in a post office. So this web.xml like a post office, there we are registering it. Okay, this action, this address, right? This address belongs to this book servlet. We configured it here. So same name we configured here, so that whenever the request, URL pattern means request, whenever the request comes in, you need to call this book servlet. This book servlet is this form.rbu.web. Inside this package we have this class, right? Directly it will go to this class, and as this is get method, right? As this is get method, it will go to do get. Okay, so something like do get is like a mother, do post is like a father. If you implement both, okay, if you implement both, if your request want to send it to do post, you need to put like post here. So what we are saying, go to this home address and submit to post. Okay, so then your web.xml will redirect to your servlet class. Here if your request is get, it will come to do get. If your request is like post, it will come to do post. Okay, as the address, in address we have mentioned get only, the request will go to the get. If you mention post, it will go to the post. You understand, right? So we created a simple form. We created a simple form, and this is submit button. When we click on submit button, it will generate this action, and this action map to this book servlet, and the book servlet is configured here. When that action comes, the URL need to redirect to the servlet. So it will come here. Here it will execute do get method. In the do get method, I am reading my book name, book price, author, and description, and just I am printing it. Later we will store it into database. And finally, I'm sending one response message. Hello, book registered successfully. Okay. Now try to run this application on your server. Run it on your server. Finish it. So application run on a server, and open it from any browser. Okay. You can open this from any browser. Go to any web browser and open it. It will open. Hello world. Register book for Java. Price 150. Author Naveen. Book description. Book version 8 covered. Create a book. Hello, book registered successfully. Response I got. And this action went to my controller, right? And that controller is printing whatever data we have submitted. Core Java 150 Naveen, and the book version 8 covered. Whatever we entered from the browser, the same data submitted back. So same data, right? This data we submitted, the same data submitted to your server. See, in server you are able to printing it. Now, as you are getting this data here, can't we store it in database? We can do that, right? I'll write a one more class here. I'll write a one more class by creating one more package name called form.argue.dao. Write a class book DAO. Here we will write a save method. Public void save book. What are the inputs of book? String, book name, and int book price, string author, and string book description. Now you know, right, how to do CRUD operations using jdbc. Here write your database logic. Okay, class dot for name, Oracle dot the jdbc dot Oracle driver, then get connection con equal to driver manager dot get connection jdbc colon Oracle colon thin colon @localhost colon 1521 colon xc and the username password system admin. So I got the connection also. Just you need to add library. Okay, I'll show you how to add library also. Now connection dot create a statement. Statement equal to connection dot create statement. Statement dot execute update. So write your insert query here. Insert into bookstore values. So what are things we need to store? Book name, comma, book price. Book price is number. So for number, the single quotation is not required. Book price, book description, book order. The next one is book description. Book description. Okay, this all four properties we are saving. That's it. Once done with that, close your connection. Connection dot close, statement dot close. Done. Just you need to add your library here. Go to build path, configure build path, add external jar files. I have OJDBC 14. Copy this OJDBC 14 file and paste in this library. There is a lib folder. Paste it here. That's it. You are done. Now you could able to save this data into table also. But you need this table, right? Bookstore table in database. So open your database Apex, create a table. Create table bookstore. Book name varchar2 of 50 or 100 and remaining also book name. The one next one is book price. Book price, this is number, and book author again varchar, who returned that book, and book description. Book description That's it. So now table also ready. Bookstore table is ready. And your application also ready. Just shutting down and I'll restart this. Before that, right, I need to call the save method from here. I just printed before. Now along with that, I'll create a book class object. Book DAO equal to new book DAO. Call here book DAO dot save method. Save book method we have there, right? And pass your values, book name, book price, book author, description. So here this one should be integer. So convert this into integer. Integer dot parsing. And as it is getting exception, you need to put it in try catch. That's it. You are done. Now try to register. Now try to register data into database. Run your application. Go to browser. Try to access core Java, book price, author, core Java, 8th version, covering. Create book. Hello, book registered successfully. Go to database and do the select operation and see will it doing no data found. So we got error. What is that error? Comma missing. So something we did wrong. Go to DAO. Check it here. Book price, book author, book description, book name, book price, jdbc colon article colon thin colon @ localhost 1521 colon xc admin. So bookstore values book name, book price, book order, okay, order single quote missing, then book description. So when you do the changes, right, we need to restart servers. So change is done. Now run this on server. Finish. Submit data. Now it is saying register success. Select this data inserted. Here our data inserted. So your web application is ready and you could able to do registration. Spring book price 200. Naveen M covers IOC, MVC, boot, create. Go to database and select. So your data got inserted. So this is how you can do CRUD operations in web using web application. Just you need to create a dynamic web project and you need to create your web page with your required form. And here you need to have an action. This action need to map to your servlet. From web.xml file we do it. And your servlet will have appropriate method, either do get or do post. Here we read data and you can create another helper class for doing CRUD operations. Here you can have a method. That method you can call after creation of this instance, right? Reference. Using this one, you can call a method and you can pass your values, whatever you are submitting from the UI. You pass values here, and that's all. We are done. And only your library should copy into lib folder. while running your application, this lib should be available in your server, so that you should copy it here. So this is how you can implement web application. Okay, are we clear? Hello, am I audible?